Good morning, period 4. I wanted to go through worksheet 74, what we're doing in class today. For those of you who are not here, who are at home, or absent. So, I would like for you to follow along and fill out worksheet 74 as I go through it as well. And then keep these for your notes. Tomorrow, for your virtual day, you will be doing a worksheet that looks very similar to this for a grade, so you'll want to use this to look back on. Okay, we are still adding and subtracting linear expressions. On number 1, remember the first thing that we are looking for is the sign in between the two parentheses. It's addition, so we do not have to worry about distributing with a negative quite yet. Number 1, we're going to distribute 5 times a negative 0.3s. 5 times a negative 0.3s is a negative 1.5s. 5 times a negative 2 is a negative 10. Over on the right, 2 times positive 5 is a positive 10. And 2 times a negative 3.4s is a negative 6.8s. That's what it should look like when we distribute. And now we can combine like terms. I have a negative 1.5s minus 6.8s. Same sign, find the sum, lots of negatives. So 6.8 plus 1.5. I have 8.3 and it would be negative 8.3s. And then negative 10 plus 10, well, that cancels out to be 0. So our answer is negative 8.3s. Number 2, look for the sign in the middle. It is an addition sign, so we're good there. We're dealing with fractions on the left-hand side. 1/3 times 6p would be 2p, and 1/3 times a negative 3 is negative 1. On the right, 1/7 of 7 is 1p, and that's going to be a positive 1p, and 1/7 times a positive 14 is a positive 2. And then we can combine like terms. I have 2p plus 1p, which gives me 3p, and then a negative 1 plus 2, different signs, find the difference. The difference is 1, and there's more positives, so it's a positive 1. 3p plus 1. Okay, I would like for you to pause the video and try numbers 3 and 4, and then when you get finished, unpause it and let's see if you got them correct. Okay, number 3. 1/5 times a negative 15w is a negative 3w, and 1/5 times a negative 20 is a negative 4. On the right, 1/2 times 3 over 1 is 3/2, and then 1/2 times a negative 4w is a negative 2w. Okay, and then we can combine like terms. Negative 3w minus 2w, same sign, find the sum, lots of negatives. That's a negative 5w. And then we have a negative 4 plus 3/2, or you could have changed that into 1.5 or 1.5. Those are different signs, find the difference. There's more negatives, so your answer should be negative 4.0 minus 1.5 is going to be 2.5. So 2.5 or 2 1/2, either one would work. Number 4. It's addition in the middle again, so we're good to go. 1/8 times 16k is 2k, and 1/8 times a negative 24 is a negative 3. On the right, 1/5 times 2 would be 2/5. 1/5 times 10k is a positive 2k. Now we can combine our like terms. I have a 2k here plus 2k here. That gives me 4k. And now I have a -3 plus 2/5. Different signs, find the difference, and I have more negatives. So my answer is going to be negative. And then you're just finding the difference between 3 and 2/5. So either we can do 3 minus 2/5. Okay, you'd have to borrow and make this a 2 and 5/5. So we have 2 and 3/5. If you would have changed 2/5 into a decimal, you could also have 4k minus 2.6. Either one of those would have worked for your answer. Okay. Let's look at number 5 and 6. Now we have a subtraction sign in the middle of these two problems, which means you're distributing a negative. So watch your signs. On the left-hand side, we don't have any number on the outside of the parentheses to distribute, so we can just bring down 3h plus 4. On the right-hand side, we do. A -6 times a positive 5 is a -30. -6 times a negative 1.4 is a positive 8.4h. And then we can combine our like terms. 3h plus 8.4h is 11.4h. And 4 minus 30 is a -26. Different signs, find the difference. There's more negatives. 6, same thing. We're distributing with a -3. Nothing to distribute on the left, so just bring down 12 plus 7.2b. And on the right, we're going to do a -3 times a positive 0.9b, which is a -2.7b. And a -3 times a -4 is a positive 12. Combine like terms. I've got 7.2 minus 2.7. 7.2 minus 2.7. So we'll get 4.5b. And then 12 plus 12 is a positive 24. Okay. Now, what I would like for you to do is on the back, go ahead and pause the video, try number 7 and 8. Again, you're distributing a negative with both. And then unpause and see if you got these correct. Number 7, 1/4 times 16j is 4j, and a 1/4 times a -12 is a -3. On the right, -1/9 times a positive 18j is a -2j, and a -1/9 times 45 is a -5. When I combine like terms, 4j minus 2j is 2j, and a -3 minus 5 more is a -8. Same sign, find the sum, lots of negatives. Number 8. We have 2/3 times a positive 12n. You're going to get 8n. 2/3 times a positive 6 is positive 4. On the right, you're distributing a negative. A -1/5 times a positive 10n is a -2n. And a -1/5 times a -2 is going to be a positive 2/5. When I combine like terms, I have 8n minus 2n, which is 6n, and then 4 plus 2/5, a whole number and a fraction, just put them together to make a mixed number, is a positive 4 and 2/5. Okay, and then the word problem. Okay, so number 9 is 3 parts. So let's take these step by step. You have to pay close attention to what the word problem is asking. On number 9, A, it says that we're selling tickets to a play. You have sold 3T plus 2 tickets for $5 each and 2T plus 5 tickets for $7 each. For A, we're writing an expression that represents the total number of tickets sold so far. Okay, so it doesn't matter how much they are quite yet. We just want to know how many tickets are being sold. So we sold this many tickets and we sold this many tickets so far. So the expression is going to be 3T plus 2 and we sold 2T plus 5. Anytime we're writing an expression, we still want to simplify it as much as we can. So we'll take it out of parentheses and combine like terms. 3T plus 2T is 5T, and then 2 plus 5 is 7. So that's how many tickets we sold, 5T plus 7. In B, now we're going to write an expression that represents the total amount of money received for the tickets that have been sold. So now when we go back up to the problem, I'm going to change the color I'm highlighting. So now it says you have sold 3T tickets for $5 each. We're going to write that like this. 3T plus 2 and the 5 on the outside because they're $5 each. So we're going to distribute the 5. And we sold 2T tickets for $7 each. So 7 on the outside times 2T plus 5. And now we can distribute and combine like terms. 15T plus 10 and 14T plus 35. Now when we can combine like terms, we have 15T plus 14T, which is 29T, and then 10 plus 35 is 45. So there's our expression. And then the last one says, if T is 3, what is the total amount of money received? So we're going to go back up here. We just found out how much money, the expression. So now 29T plus 45. And now we know that T is 3. So we're going to substitute in 3 for T. Remember, a number next to a letter means multiplication. 29 times 3 is 87, and then we'll add the 45. 87 plus 45 is $132 for the tickets. Okay, be sure to go back and review number 9, rewatch if that doesn't make sense. Last one. Write an expression that represents the perimeter of the triangle. How do you find perimeter? You add up all the sides. So we're going to write an expression. So 3m minus 2 is one of the sides, plus 5m minus 3 is a second side, and then the last side is 2m plus 7. So that's the expression, but we always simplify. So let's combine like terms. 3m plus 5m plus 2 more m's. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10 m's. And then we have a -2, a -3. That's a -5 plus 7. -5 plus 7 is a +2. There's the perimeter of the triangle. All right, I hope that makes sense. Again, you can go back and rewatch or slow it down. If you need to fill in some of your notes, be sure that you go back and practice those, and then your homework tomorrow for your virtual learning will be a worksheet that looks very similar to this and I am grading it. Be sure to reach out if you have any questions.